nuclear forces, not to expect to launch on warning, but to expect to absorb a nuclear first strike. That was 1997. I think that was that telegraph message. Don't expect to get the codes to be able to launch against the first strike. You're going to absorb a first strike.
Yeah, and they took the launch codes away from the sub-commanders, yeah.
Yeah. And then they, had that agreement with Clinton, with the Soviets. It was just a one-sided agreement. We're going to keep 50% of our missile submarines in port at any one time to make sure that you can target it more easily, to show our good intent that we have no offensive intent.
But as you know, there's a lot of hidden secret nukes that the United States has. I mean, everybody cheats.
I'm convinced that the globalists have a plan to win this after they absorb a nuclear first strike on our military. But remember, the cities are not the target. The Russians and Chinese want to blackmail us into submission, not destroy the markets that they depend on. So I think the globalists know that. This is a very complex scenario. I understand people's reluctance to want to maybe see this.
Well, it's kind of a paradox. They need our military to be kind of the UN global force. They want to build up NATO as the new UN army. That's admitted. That's who they keep using for these UN operations. But they know inherently one of the only cores of Americana, even though our military has been part of these evil wars, is the military. They know the military is the most awake group of the globalist conspiracy. That's why they want to coup d'etat them in a nuclear attack.
Yeah, I think you're right, Alex.
Well, that fits in because they absolutely hate the military. Look what they do to them with these secret death lists and all the rest of it. We didn't get to get into social issues. I want to have you back soon to do that because I want to go to phone calls as promised. Brandon in Texas, you're on the air with Joel Skousen. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, God bless both of you guys. I'm a huge fan. My question is, whether it's a global war or some kind of economic collapse, we hear a lot about collecting gold and silver coins, so on and so forth, for use for barter, but how would that really be any use to another person that's, up a creek just like me or anybody else in that event? Wouldn't it be more useful in that case to stockpile things that people will need, like something that's made out of unobtainium, like 22 ammo nowadays, I'm sure you guys noticed, and maybe even just for comfort, like something along the lines of cigarettes. I don't smoke them, but maybe I should buy some, or little bottles of whiskey. What do you think about that?
Well, I think precisely that stockpiling things that remove your future need for money and provide barter items is really your best option. But remember, too, that cash will be king. I predict that there will not be hyperinflation before this war comes. They're going to continue to try to keep things down below 10%. Thus, you can hoard some cash. But believe me, there won't be any cash printing when war starts. And so cash will be king until it starts to run out, and then prices rise because of shortages. That's when gold and silver become more valuable, when prices rise, because right now you wouldn't be able to get change for a $2,000 gold coin. I like silver dollars as the premier barter coin just because they're big and fat and heavy, and they're legal tender. People don't have to determine whether or not this is a real coin or not. I think if you're going to stockpile anything, silver dollars is going to be the best one, rather than quarters and dimes that are silver, because they look too much like what's out there existing. So silver dollars, cash will be king first of all, then silver dollars. But ultimately, in the long term of this war, and there's going to be starvation, there's going to be famine for a couple of years, you've got to be able to get out of those urban areas, and you're going to have stockpiles to use and to trade, especially things that are usable like light bulbs, like glues, screws, ammunition, those
shortwave radios. And let's just say it, Joel, people will do anything for liquor once this all goes down. People could argue it'd be immoral, but the classic barter item would also be like things like whiskey.
Well, the so-called, the Bosnian guy who's promoting his wares about survival is talking about, cigarette lighters were key. Well, they aren't here in the United States. In Europe, people still smoke like chimneys, but not here. So it's not going to, smoking is not going to be a barter item like it is in Europe. Liquor may be, but I still think a lot of Americans will need food, and things to repair things quicker than they'll need liquor.
I was about to say, somebody that's got their own solar power and wind power and like a tinker repair machine shops, those will end up being little mini cities during a full collapse, right?
That's right. You know, and the Bosnian guy claims, well, nobody used any cars, but that was Bosnia. Those were high-density urban areas. Out here in the West and things, fuel will be king as well, and you will be able to sell fuel like gold someday. So there's a lot of things that you can stockpile that are, I think, more useful ultimately than gold and silver.
Oh, absolutely. Fuel out in areas that aren't dense will be king. Brandon, does that answer your question?
Pretty much. I have maybe a little bit of a continuation of that question. Mr. Skousen mentioned that people should be getting out of urban areas, but wouldn't those be the most likely areas that the powers that be at the time would want to control? And as we've seen in places like Somalia and others, that those are the places where they delivered the food supplies, where the rural areas were pretty much left to their own devices.
Well, that's right, and that's why you want to be in the rural areas, so that they leave you alone, basically, and have your stockpiles. Remember, you can't grow in urban areas. You are totally dependent on FEMA.
We've got to go to break. Stay there. We'll be right back.
More and more people are discovering the incredible benefits of alkalizing the body, and there's no better product for it than AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops. Packed with a powerful combination of the most alkaline minerals and compounds, just a few drops in water will rid your body of harmful waste and give you more vibrance and vigor than you've had in years. Now buy 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it led back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
The month of February is all about Valentine's Day. Big heart-shaped boxes filled with delicious candy. What if we, the Patriots, hijacked Valentine's Day and instead made it about human liberty and individual empowerment? I'm all about human potential. I'm all about the individual being empowered. The establishment is the opposite. That's why they spike our water with fluoride and GMO, estrogen mimickers, and the rest of the garbage. InfoWars is striking back in the month of February with Human Empowerment Month. How we can come together and win the human race. And to celebrate the kickoff of Human Empowerment Month, we're slashing prices on InfoWarsLife.com products like Super Male and Super Female Vitality. The sale is only running for the month, 20% off, and there's a lot of other powerful specials at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWarsLife.com, celebrating human potential in the month of February. Visit InfoWarsLife.com to find this special and many others in the month of February. Again, InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139.
It's no secret that government and big business buy in bulk and get huge discounts not available to the little guy. Until now. Introducing a breakthrough crowd buying website where people can join together, buy in bulk, and get massive discounts on millions of popular products. It's TogetherSave.com. TogetherSave.com. You can save 20, 30, or even 50% off tablets, smartphones, cars, appliances, textbooks, sports equipment, video games, and much more. All with free delivery. Check it out. TogetherSave.com. Visit now and start group buying today at TogetherSave.com.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Joel Skousen is our guest. Medical supplies will be king during a collapse, but of course the public doesn't have general access to those now, plus they don't have a good shelf life. The elite are buying redoubts. We talked about this 15 years ago, but it was even the London Guardian last week or 2 weeks ago that elites are buying places all over the world in rural areas and putting in long airstrips so they can run from Europe and the U.S. Most of the rich billionaires in Israel have left Israel the last 5 years, And we talked about this before it was known because we have a lot of sources. I know Joel does and I do as well, but he builds houses for really rich folks and common folks as well that are secure. So they've been running to the hills. They're not running into the cities. Those are the places you won't want to be during a collapse. You want to elaborate on that, Joel, before we go to Judy?
Yeah, even the cities will not be able to be controlled by the powers that be. I mean, I don't even think policemen are going to show up for duty. Soldiers aren't going to show up for duty because their families will be subject to mobs. It's just going to be chaos. And so people will leave the cities. It's a matter of preparing places before that happens so that you're not caught in the maelstrom.
And know your neighbors. So if a group, 2 years into a collapse comes over there, it'll be just like Road Warrior wanting to take over. You're ready to deal with them. The good part about areas that have the Second Amendment, though, I predict those are going to be areas that are a lot safer. What about areas where they've disarmed people like California and D.C., that have cultures of just supine worshiping of tyranny? My God, those are going to be carnal, charnel houses of hellish exploits by the criminal element.
Absolutely. That's why in strategic relocation, we rate different areas differently, especially by these criteria, like Second Amendment, like the freedom to homeschool, freedom for natural medical care, as well as climate and other things. A lot of good information in strategic relocation that people ought to get.
People should get the book and the film at InfoWarsStore.com. I mean, if people don't, I think they're insane. Both of them are so well done, and we're honored to work with you on that. That's what the whole illegal alien open invasion's about. I mean, Obama is acting as a dictator, but notice the Republicans aren't challenging him, Joel.
No, that's right. And there was a judge that had the guts to shut it down, and now the Obama administration is shopping for a judge to release that order so that the illegal agenda can keep going forward. But I think that's why the southern states have got a problem. Texas, even where you are, it's going to be a Mexican state one of these days, again, I think.
Well, that's the globalist plan, to get folks to vote with the Democratic agenda. That's the plan.
That's right. They want to water down conservative voting patterns, and they're not going to stop this illegal flow no matter what we do. It's one of those things they don't take no for an answer.
Judy in Florida. Judy, you're on the air. Welcome.
Yes. Hi, Alex.
Hi.
In listening, I'm just really getting more and more concerned and frightened, really, about what is coming over our border, whether it's the illegal aliens or the Chinese that are coming here and having children. But all that aside...
well, it's because America's been totally sold out. I mean, we offer to pay for anybody's kids in the world, and this is the plan to turn us into a Tower of Babel. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I know people that are perfectly fine with that I thought were real intellectuals and people that I thought loved this country, but they're just brainwashed, crazy people. But what I don't understand is how this is not really like a currency war that's taking place, and I guess this is my question, is how is this not really a currency war? Because isn't the Anglo-American establishment just looking for the boogeyman that they can blame when the financial collapse does occur? I mean, they want World War III, don't they, in full swing? And also, what do you say to the people like me and my family that are not going to be able to get to some type of armored redoubt, and we're going to be stuck in mainland America, with all the suffering?
That's a good point. Joel?
Well, as I say, the currency wars are continue to go back and forth, but I'm going to tell you the dollar will remain king. There's no other currency in the world that can replace the dollar. The euro would have to be inflated.
Stay there. We're going to come back and finish up with that in Overdrive and go to Truth. Ben, Gregory, Aaron, and others. Stay with us. Joel Scouse is our guest.
Genesis Communications Radio Network.
What disaster is so powerful, it unleashes a chain of mass pandemics, economic meltdowns, and violent food riots, all at the same time? NASA has already set the countdown timer, and right now the 21st century apocalypse is less than 13 months away. Former CIA Director James Woolsey says 2/3 of U.S. population could perish. In a matter of seconds, the world as we know it will cease to exist. The world's economy will be wiped out. Mass riots will follow. Ancient diseases will reemerge. How will you shield yourself and your loved ones from this upcoming apocalypse? Go to darkestdays.info to find out proven methods of protecting yourself, your loved ones, and even your entire community when this worst-case scenario unravels. That's DARKESTDAYS.info. Darkestdays.info. Go there before this life-saving information becomes unavailable to the large public. Go to darkestdays.info now.